Hey folks, it's Dave back here in Studio B, and a quick video here as I'm finished packing for the trip to go to Play.con 25 in the morning. I think everything's all set, ready to go. If not, well, I'll have to just kind of wing it from there, but I think I have everything all packed up and ready. And John just sent me this over here. He just redid the empty net alternate rule, or patched it up, I should say, and I like it. I like what it is right now, because honestly, the way the empty net was written, and I think he knew what he meant, but I couldn't figure it out. Nobody else could either. So we simplified it, and now it's fun. Now the empty net is fun. So let me show you what we have here. So let me go overhead, and this is the new one here. Okay, so you can see it's divided into two sections here. So every old season up through 98, 99, you're going to use the top here. And then from 99 and 2000 and beyond, you're going to use the bottom part of the instructions, okay? So for today's exercise, we're going to do the top one here. It's going to be the 91, 92 Whalers and the Los Angeles Kings, if you will, okay? So let's take a look here. So as you know, when you play this game, it's rolled in 12 segments, okay? So you got the road team and the home team. Road team starts, and then the home team, and you go through, 4 segments of the first period, 4 segments of the second, and then 4 in the third. What's going to happen now in the last segment here of the third period, which is segment 12, is who's ever winning will roll first, and he indicates that here, okay? For game flow purposes, roll the team that is leading in the first segment, 12, okay? So that is leading first. Roll the team that is leading first. That should be comma in segment 12, okay? So let's just say we have our two teams here. So we have Los Angeles at Hartford, okay? So if Los Angeles is winning, then you would roll here for them if they're the road team. If Hartford was winning, then you would roll down here first on the Hartford final segment, which is number 12, and then come up here and take a look to see if you're going to be pulling the goalie here for the Kings. So that's kind of how it works. And I like that. I was talking to John about that, and I says, this needs to feel like a hockey game. And I know getting stats right is important, and getting all the segments filled in is important, but it's got to feel like a hockey game. So I think doing it this way, whereas for game flow purposes, roll the team that is leading first in segment 12. I like that. So now what we're going to do is use the empty net rules if you're behind 1 to 3 goals. For myself, I was talking to him about that. I said, so for me, what I would do is from 99 and earlier, you didn't really pull the goalie when you were down by 3. This allows you to. For myself, it would be 1 or 2 goals, sometimes just 1, because you didn't pull a lot with 2 either. But I mean, you could do it with 1, 2, or 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll a 2D. It says 2D6. He's going to change it to 2D10 because that's your percentage die right here. So you're going to roll this and check against the season. So the season is 92. So we roll here, and an 80 is going to be less than 92. So we will use the empty net procedure. If I had rolled 93 or higher, then we wouldn't. We would just go normal the procedure for that segment. Okay. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that everything we do here, we have rolled above the empty net number, which in this case is 92. Now, again, if you were playing 1960, and 61, that number would be 61, because they didn't do a lot of empty nets back in the day. And I think he did the research on that followed that. So that's kind of easy now. So if you have these teams here, you're going to ignore this empty net number. Okay. So if you have a pre-printed team, or if you bought one or printed it out recently, ignore this right here. Ignore that empty net number, if you will. Okay. And did I just get booted off of YouTube here? Because I had a few people here in the chat room, and now I have nobody. So I'm kind of wondering if I'm even on right now. Let me check. YouTube's been having glitches here. Just want to make sure that I'm still on while I'm explaining this. Okay. No, it looks like I'm still on. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. So let's do this here. So we got the Kings and the Whalers. So what we're going to do is we roll. Let's just say Hartford was winning 2-1. And so we're going to come down here, and we're going to roll on Hartford's 12, and they do not score, so it remains 2-1. So now we're going to come over here, and we're going to roll against the season, which, again, we said was 92. So we're going to roll. It's less than 92. So now we're going to go ahead over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll our 3d6, which is right here. Okay. And we're going to see what's going to happen on this chart. And that's how easy it is. And I really like how easy that is. Now he's divided this up here. So the goal is going to be a goal by the trailing team. And he has that down here, written down here. An empty net goal is obviously a goal into the empty net. So that would be, in this case, would be a Hartford goal. Okay, because the Kings are pulling their goalie. Okay, so the Kings got the goalie out, trailing 2-1. All righty. And now we're going to roll our dice to see what happens, okay? So roll 3d6 to read the first goal opportunity, which is here, and let's get the results. So, look at this. We have a 14. Oh, so close, but they do not cash in. So that would be the end of the game. So if empty net goal or dash, that ends the segment. So the final score would be 2-1. That's how that goes. Let's say now that Hartford was winning 3-1. So we're pulling the goalie, and we're down by 2. Okay, so we roll our percentage die. It comes up less than 92 because that's the season we're doing. Let's roll our 6 dice again. And here we have a 3, we have a 7, so that would be nothing here. Let's just say we rolled this. We rolled a 4. All right, so the Kings score. So now that 3-1 game is now 3-2. That's our first goal opportunity. So it's 3-2. So now we move over here to the second goal opportunity. So now in order to score the second goal to tie it up with the goalie out, you have to roll 4, 5, or 6. So if we roll here, and you can see that we've eliminated a lot of chances. And, look at that, 18. That would have been, no, still no good. So 18 is no good. So they would get the 1 empty net goal, and that was it. I like this. I like how this goes. And at any time, again, if any time you roll an empty net goal or a dash, that ends the try. So in order to keep this going, you have to get a goal with the goalie on the bench. So again, one more time, recapping this, roll your percentage dice. If it's less than or equal to the year you're playing, go to the empty net procedure. Roll 3 dice. Look here on this chart here. That'll tell you what happens. Anything but a goal by the team with the goalie pulled, and again, explains it down here. This is the team with the goalie pulled. Anything but that, an empty net goal or dash ends the game, and that is that. If they do score, then we continue on. If they tie the game, that's it as well. You don't get to continue on if the game is tied. So that is how that works. I like that. That is much, much more simple. So now, what happens if we play like what I consider a modern season? So we have Florida and we have Edmonton 24-25. And again, yes, 2000 is considered a modern season for me. All right, so we're going to play here, and let's see what goes on. So what are the instructions for this? All right, a little bit different. For game flow purposes, roll the team that is leading first in segment 12. So much like we did here in the other one, that's exactly the same. So if it's going to be Edmonton at Florida, okay, so Edmonton's a road team. If Florida was winning, then we would roll Florida first. If Edmonton's winning, we roll Edmonton first. And I would say keep that pretty standard, even if the game's not even close, because you want to make sure that you're going to be into the empty net procedure if it's close. I mean, if it's 4-1 and Florida rolls and they make it 5-1, there's no empty net procedure. You're kind of done at that point. So always give the winning team the first roll in the final segment, which is segment 12. Now, again, we're going to do the same thing. Roll a 2d10, and if it's the empty net, its number's less than us. So we will use these here. So again, it's 96. And over here, it's going to be 96 as well. So chances are pretty darn good we're going to be taking the goalie out here. So, again, I would need 97, 98, 99, and 100, I guess, to not pull the goalie. So 59 is good. So, again, in both situations here, roll your 2d10 and check the empty net. The older seasons, it's the year. And the newer seasons, it's whatever numbers here. Usually it's going to be 96 or higher, or in that neighborhood. Now, the difference here, though, in the newer season is you're going to roll your decider die. So we have offense. So let's just say that Edmonton is pulling their goalie, all right, and they're down by 1 goal. So we come over here to Edmonton, and we get the offense. So we're going to read off the power play segment of the offense of Edmonton. That's what we're going to do, okay? And we're going to read everything off this column here. Nothing else will change. It's going to be this column here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling dice. This is when it gets fun. This is when it really feels like you're playing with the empty net. At any time, a power play goal comes up. So now, because it's offense, we're going to be reading off the offense of the power play for Edmonton. All right, that's what we're going to be doing here. If I had rolled defense, then we would come over here to Florida, and we would roll off the Florida defense for every segment. But because we rolled offense, we're going to be playing off the Edmonton offense, if you will. So now what we're going to do is going to roll our dice again, our 6 die. We're going to roll this again. Anything, much like the top part of here, anything that comes up as a power play goal, and it's all color coordinated the same, a power play goal, the leading team scores an empty net goal. Actually, we should probably change that. That's what I'm thinking here. John, if you're watching this here, to be consistent, I would change this here. So you got the power play. That's an empty net goal, whereas empty net goal is red up here. So I'm going to suggest to John that we change the colors here to match it down here because he's already got the power play and the shorthanded. So I'm going to say that we flop these up here. Okay, so I'm going to suggest to John that we do that just to kind of keep everything similar. So a power play goal is basically an empty net goal. Okay, empty net goal. The only way the team losing with the empty net can score is if they get the shorthanded goal. So as you can see, on the offense, it'd have to be 17 or 18. So Edmonton's chances of scoring with the empty net are pretty low. And again, the dash here, there's no goal. And that is that for that segment. Now, the difference here is you keep on rolling, okay? Unless you get the power play goal, which is the empty net goal. So let's do a couple of things here. So it's going to be on the offense. So Edmonton offense, they're trailing by 1 goal. Let's take a look at this, what the segment's going to be. So we're going to roll 6. And we have 11. So I come over here to 11, and it's nothing, okay? So now, that's roll 1. So I'm going to roll on number 2. And now I have a 5. A 5 is nothing. So that's rolls 1 and 2, okay? So now I go to rolls 3 and 6. At this point here, there can be no empty net goals scored. The only goals that can be scored are the shorthanded goals, which are goals by the team with the extra skater. So we got 3 rolls, 3 to 6, and we have 4 more rolls. So let's roll here. So 17 or 18 is the only way we can tie the game, and we have 4 rolls for that. So nope, there's roll 1. Oh, I should have checked the dash. And so I guess there's no, so the power plays will be considered a dash, right? So there's, that's close though. So that's 15. Oh, that's still a dash. So this will be roll number 3. 10 is 14. That is no. So I need 17 or 18, and I don't get it. So that is that. So they would not score, and that would be the end of the game. Now, if you were to score, let's just say Edmonton's down 2, and we roll our dice, and we would get that 17, which would be basically 665. So we get that, and we get the goal. So that's our first goal. So now you come down here to the second goal opportunity with the empty net. So now it's, say, 3-2 instead of 3-1 because they got the goal with the goaltender on the bench. So they're going to keep the goalie on the bench and keep playing. So now we come down here to the second one. This time, rolls 1 and 2 are the same, but you only get 1 extra roll instead of 4. So it means time's ticking away. You don't get as many chances. And then down the bottom here, if you were to get two goals by chance, then come down here. It's 1 roll, winner take all down here is what it is. So again, so let's just say it's 3-1. Edmonton pulls the goalie on our first roll. Somewhere along the way here, we ended up getting a SHG, which means that they scored, and they cut it to 3-2. So now we come down here. So let's look at rolls 1 and 2, and we have a 12. So that would be nothing. So we're going to roll number 2, and that's going to be a 5, and that will be nothing. So now we come down here to roll 3, and this is it. This is the last roll of the possible second goal with the goalie on the bench. And we're going to have that. And again, we don't count the power plays. We only count this, and we needed 17 or 18. We didn't get it. So that would be the final score, 3-2. So I like this procedure a lot better. I really do. I may not be doing a good job of explaining it, but so again, the big differences is up here in the previous seasons, after you establish you're rolling off the empty net, it's just a single column roll. It's nice and easy. So there's your first chance to score. If you score, you get another chance to score. If you score, then you have a third chance to score. At any time you get anything but a goal, which is a goal by the team with the the goalie on the bench, the segment ends. So that's nice and simple. So you roll your 3 die, come over here. So anything from 7 to 14 will end the game. The only way the game continues is if you roll a goal. And the same over here in the second one. I like this. This is nice and easy. I play mostly older seasons. This one gets a little bit more exciting because you have a lot of different rolls. Again, you have rolls 1 and 2, and that allows you to get the empty net goal, if you will, on rolls 1 and 2, and that would end the segment. If you get the dash, you keep on playing, and then you can have as many as 6 rolls. So if you like rolling dice at the end of the game, I think that's kind of fun. And again, you roll the offense and the defensive die here to see which card you're looking off of, and that makes it interesting. Now, if I look over here, if we compare this here, if we do, so again, if Edmonton's pulling the goalie, and we look at their chart on offense, they need a 17 or an 18, whereas if we roll the defense, Florida gives up a goal on 15 and 18, so it's a little bit easier if it would be rolled defense here. So Edmonton would almost be hoping to roll for the defense on that one right there. But that's how it works out. And for Florida, that wouldn't make much of a difference because if they rolled offense with the goalie out, they would have to get a 14. And then, over here, the defense, they'd have to get an 18. So, so Florida would definitely want the offense rather than the defense if they were pulling the goalie. So, anyway, that's the new way he come up with. I'm going to get back to him right now and see if we can make this a little bit more color coordinated. So, he's got the power play goals here, which is equal to an empty net goal. And this is a goal by the team with the goalie on the bench. So, I'm going to suggest to him that he makes this the pink, like the shorthanded goal, and we'll make this the light blue. So I'm going to suggest that to him right now, and maybe he'll get that up there. But I like this. This is going to get me playing the game more because that empty net segment, again, I just dreaded it because it was kind of weird, and I know where he was going with it, but it was just kind of weird. So this now I like. I will now be playing more red ice hockey. So anyway, I am Dave. Hopefully that helped out. Any questions, let me know, and I'll try to help it out. But that's the new empty net procedure for red ice hockey, and I really, really like this new procedure. So I might see you guys tonight. I got one more payoff pitch season. I'm opening up and sorting, so maybe we can do some sorting tonight before I go to bed because I got to go to bed real early because I'm going to be up at 5 to catch the Uber to get to the airport. So wish me luck tomorrow, but maybe I'll see you guys tonight and we can do some chatting. I'm Dave from Studio B. Hope this helped out. Bye-bye.